feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.
What's up, everybody? I'm Fu.
Oh, I'm Jay. I told y'all. It's been a long day. I'm Jay.
And I'm Main One, and we're Unplugged, Free Your Mind, the show where we discuss and share our perspectives on an array of topics and world news from an unfiltered, unbiased, and unplugged point of view. Welcome back to episode 48. 48. We almost at 50. Almost at 50 episodes. We almost at 50 episodes. We almost at 500 subscribers. 500 people in the group on Facebook. And it's just like, it's moving. It's definitely moving organically. And it's and that other shit is coming. Had YouTube not did the fuck shit, we may be knocking on 1,000 subscribers right about now.
Wow. So they're never going to let us open that account again, huh?
That's done.
That's it, huh?
It's done. Done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Moving right along.
Bigger and better things.
Onward and upward.
Absolutely. So what's going on? Hey, well, once again, as you guys come in, we do a quick roll call every show. So, let us know where you're coming in from. And that way we can keep up with you guys. And, we can link people up that's close in the vicinity of you guys to stay connected. So what's going on? What's been going on? How was the first 3 days of the week and your weekend? Well, you about to get a $5 fine. You're already down $5.
It was great on my end. Very relaxing weekend for me. A lot of entertainment over the weekend. I can't wait to get to that particular segment. I just chilled. And it's been a busy work week, but other than that, not bad. What about you, Fu?
The weekend was good. Celebrating our championships. We all champions.
Oh yeah! Congratulations again.
Yeah, we won the middle school championship, so we celebrated. The college actually honored us. USC Aiken honored us Saturday at their basketball game. It's a quick little honor. It was like 20 seconds, like get in, get out. They took pictures or whatever, but it was a good experience for the kids. So. So yeah, that's what we did, and celebrated my wife's birthday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, celebrated her birthday Saturday as well. So the family got together. We did, the gifts and all, the eating and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, happy belated birthday to the missus. Although I did wish her a happy birthday on Facebook.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. What about you, Fu?
This weekend, Danny was here. We kind of chilled. I actually went to the farmers market, the one we had the guest on who had the farm.
Yeah, we need to have them back. We need to have them back too. We need to reach out to them too.
Well, the funny thing about you saying that is when I pulled up, I got there a little bit before they actually opened, and the cat that was on, he recognized me. I was like, nice. Shit. Like it was like super random that it happened like that. So we talked. I had told him about that. So I went and I bought some stuff because Danny wanted some honey. And then I bought I bought a cabbage. I bought a grapefruit that I fucked up in the car. I killed that shit in the car. Some lemons. Like I bought some stuff that I know my moms will want, especially because it was fresh. But what I'll say is, the fact that you can buy the stuff fresh like that and you see the price compared to whatever you pay in the supermarket, it goes to show how people can grow their own food. Because if you grow your own food, that's not an expense that you're going to have to constantly spend, which is cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's for sure. That's definitely for sure.
And I'll let y'all in on something that I told Jermaine earlier. I think I kind of debugged a worm or a program in a young 20-year-old brain earlier. Because with me now, especially with all the flip flopping, that's been going on or whatever. I saw a young cat going into the supermarket and he had a mask on his face. Oh shit! I think I just probably got us our first strike because we can't talk about that. I should have said he was walking like this.
We
No,
can't even say mask.
don't, my man. I got let me start talking. Let me start talking encryptedly.
Okay.
He had this on his face. So I asked him straight up. I said, "Yo, my man, I don't mean to be in your business. I'm not being funny or anything like that. But I want to ask you a serious question. Why are you wearing that? Are you wearing it because someone told you to wear it? You actually think that it works, or you know that it works?" He was like, "Well, I'm wearing it because I just I don't want to get sick and then pass it along to somebody else." I said, so you telling me that you have a problem with getting sick? Have you been getting sick your entire life? That's a part of life. It is what it is. And then I said, look at this beautiful sky. It's gorgeous out here. It's like 60 something degrees. And I said, the oxygen levels out here are probably at 50 or 60%. What do you think the oxygen levels are with you having that on your face? And he just looked at me. I said, it's probably around 20%. Then I said to him, and you have to realize you have to have oxygen going to your brain, period. And he was like, the look that he had, you would kind of see this going on in his head. And I was like, oh shit, that was actually good. He didn't just yank it down, no, but I could tell that I actually got through to him. That to me is what mattered more than anything, because that's what has to happen next. Because the whole thing about it is, in my personal opinion, y'all can give yours. The reason why people are moving the way that they're moving, most people, is because they've been programmed to. They're just accepting it. I watched a dude today literally walk all the way to the supermarket door. He was walking back to his car. And in my mind, I said, he's not doing what I think he's doing. He walked back to go into the supermarket. And I'm like, did he really just do that shit? Why? But that's the programming. People got the shit hanging from their mirrors and all that. Throw them motherfuckers in the garbage. And I also brought up Main One's point to the kid too. I said, yo, this was so dangerous and everything like that. Where the biohazard bins for people to throw them away? He was like, that's where we have to be with this. Like, I'm willing to do that because I don't give a fuck. A person can brush me off, keep on walking, cuss me out. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna say fuck you too because I invaded their space. That's fine. But if I can talk to 10 people and get through to one, that one could turn into 1,000 fast as hell. That's the way I look at it. And because that's the way, to me, that's the way we got to move. So it's like, fuck it, yo. Oh, and this weekend, just so y'all know too, I'm going to Kimani's warrior camp. So I'll be out there roughing it from Friday, to Sunday.
Cool.
That's what's up. I wish I could make it. I wish I could have made it. I'm gonna make the next one though, for sure.
Ain't gonna be no next one. He going off grid. He about to go to he about to go to Arizona. He gone.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
He gone, yo.
So after this weekend, he's out.
It's supposed to be the beginning of March. Well,
I tell you what, we got to get him on the show next Wednesday. Before he go, we got to get him on the show. Before he go off the grid, we got to get him on the show.
I'm gonna ask him. Is he gonna have like a PO box or something? So I want to see. I definitely want to see what's up. I don't want to lose contact with Kimani. I'm telling y'all, like, I'm being real with you. His energy is right. And that's what I know, that we move and live off of frequency. I get that, but we gotta protect our shit. We definitely gotta protect our shit. And I know for me, I do my best to put out the right energy. That's why I find it funny that with my attitude, people fuck with me. At least they know I'm a good person. I just got a flip motherfucking mouth, and I don't give a fuck.
Well, I think most people can sense that it's coming from a genuine place. So when you come off genuine and authentic, what else can people say? Because that's all we ask for people to be your genuine and authentic self. And if you can't accept me for that, then I don't need to be around you. So I mean, bro, I don't have no problem with your damn mouth.
That's because you from Brooklyn, nigga.
That's true.
People down south, bro. Oh my God, I could. They be like, oh, nah, why, did he really just say that? Yeah, I said it. I don't give a fuck either. I don't care about the consequences. But I get it. I've been down here long enough to understand that shit.
Yeah. All right. So without any further ado, you laid out the video. I watched your live earlier, so I hope everybody watched it live and they know what we're kind of going to lean into. Me and Jay, we had this conversation on. I think we had this conversation on Saturday. It might have been last Friday, sometime. And she was like, "Yo, we need to make that a topic of the show." So because we were talking about politics, which me and her, we always kind of go back and forth on politics, and so we were saying because I'm a non-participant. I don't participate in that shit because I think is a bunch of bullshit. To a certain extent. Well, not to a certain extent. I think it's all a bunch of bullshit. Fu has his own ideas about it, and Jay has his own ideas about it. So we were saying if you with this 22 election cycle coming up, the cycle is coming up again. So they're ramping up all the propaganda and all this kind of stuff. So if I'm a non-voter and you are a staunch Democrat or you're a staunch Republican, how can you sway me either way to whatever side you want to sway me to? Whether you want to sway me to the Democratic side, you want to sway me to the Republican side. What can you say? What can you present to a person who is a non-voter to swing your way? So that was kind of the question that we posed, and we were supposed to have been having somebody who is a very staunch Democrat come on. He hasn't popped on yet, but you look. This is an interactive show, so if you are in the crowd, you're in the audience, you're watching, please, we'll send you the link. Come on and give us your views. Sway us either way. Let us know what you think. Your opinions. We want to hear your opinions. What you say?
And for everybody out there, first and foremost, if you're watching on Facebook, please make sure you go subscribe to Unplugged FYM on Rumble and on YouTube. And if anybody wants to come on and give their opinion, whether you agree with us, whether you disagree with us, or whether you have your own direct opinion on it, we want to hear from you, because I made a post earlier with a poll saying where you're going to vote in 2022. And the crazy thing about it is, I think 12 or 13 people voted, and it was more people that said no than said yes. And I think part of it is because more people are starting to realize that it's bullshit. The other thing about it is, which is a statement that Maine kind of put me onto, is political theater. I heard that before, but it was put on full display when we saw Slow Biden allegedly getting something put into his arm, and it was on a stage. My question is, why would there be a stage if he's supposed to be at that building in Washington, D.C.? That doesn't make any sense. What? And then when you see something like that and they make it visible, you say to yourself, what is the reasoning behind it? Why would they not be there? Has every president been there? Then you start to question that. If he did that, how we know the other presidents didn't do it? Like, where's the proof? And it makes you question everything, which is what people should be doing anyway.
Right.
The other thing, if more people did that, we probably will be able to move way more forward.
Yeah, I agree with that. And a lot of people just don't, they're just blindly loyal to one party or the other. So a lot of people don't even know that. And me and you, we talked about this yesterday about the article that I read about the House. All like 435 House seats are up for election. How many people actually know that? How many people? I think I've been saying this for about 2 years now. I said, in 2022, The House is going to get flipped. The Senate's going to get flipped. And in 2024, we're going to get a worse 45. I've been saying this for almost 2 years. Everybody, man, you crazy, you crazy. That's never going to happen. And I'm like, look, it's about to be a bloodbath in 2022 because guess what? The Democrats don't have nothing to run on. I mean, all they shit is all they shit is symbolism, wokeism, bullshit. They still talking about Trump 2 years later, when he get in 2020, 2 years later, they still talking about Trump. They done kept you locked in your fucking house with masks and all this shit. Took away your jobs because of these fucking damn mandates. I mean, what else they gonna run on? What I challenge somebody to say, hey, this candidate is running on this, and it meets my ideals. I challenge anybody.
That's the whole thing. People are going to talk about politics based on what they believe, based on what they're being told on TV. I can see right now that one of the things being mentioned is about the U.S. actually going to war. And I'm like, going to war? Hold up. Didn't we just go through 4 years of not having to do that?
Mm.
So now all of a sudden, because I guess your plan ain't working, you got to throw that in there. It's like, come on, yo. Come on. And the other crazy thing is, with everything that's been going on with the soldiers, do y'all have enough people to go to war? That's the other thing, because a lot of them walked away from their military service too, because they didn't want to get pinched. So I think that, like, when they say you watch an empire crumble, we watching this shit before our eyes, and it's crazy because you've said multiple things, and it's starting to come to pass. And the one thing I said when all this shit started was that they was going to do their best to blame a bad economy on this. And that's exactly what they've done. They finagled that shit to blame the economy by, like you said, making people stay home. They got businesses closing and all this other shit, and cats just accepted it. So I mean, it's all I can do is laugh, yo.
And here's the answer to one of our folk. Like they like to talk about the gas price and stuff. So here goes some more. So if they're not warmongering, if they're not fear mongering you, they ain't trying to pump up some kind of fear in you. I guess that just ain't right. So here's what Biden had to say.
Warning that the crisis could have an impact on gas prices. Our chief business correspondent, Rebecca Jarvis, has more on that. Good morning, Rebecca.
Yes, good morning to you, Michael. And the message from President Biden is it's not going to be painless. We are going to see the consequences here at home if Russia invades Ukraine. And this is where we're seeing it right now already reflected in gas prices. The national average this morning, $3.51. Prices up about $1 from a year ago at 8-year highs. And in just the last month, prices in more than a dozen states have jumped more than 25 cents a gallon at the pump. And the issue here is if Russia were to invade Ukraine, you have to keep in mind how important Russia is to oil. It's a major oil producer throughout the world. That could have an impact on supplies and a ripple effect here at home as well as in other places across the world. A number of people are now contemplating what this could mean for prices. Many analysts expect that if there were an invasion, prices could jump as much as 50 cents. And on Capitol Hill, there are even conversations about a national gas tax holiday that could shave 20 cents off the price of your gasoline. A number of utility providers are sending notes to their customers this morning saying, if you got a high bill, Michael, talk to us. We can talk about it and figure out a way to pay it. Michael?
I'm sure any help would be welcome. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
I'm sorry, yo. I'm if anybody got a problem with me saying this, then it is what it is. Looking at Michael Strahan on shows like that, for me, it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. This man was damn near wanting to break people's necks playing football. And he's huge. And he's supposed to be a journalist or a news, whatever. I'm good. Or not journalist, but he just like commentary. Like he has went into daytime. Talk about a dude. Well, mind you, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it on air because I don't want to deal with the BS of that particular group. But Michael Strahan was handed that type of position because of the type of person that he is. I'm going to leave it like that. And mind you, I had my proof of it is from a very reliable source. And when I say very reliable, it's from the golf course. It's a caddy to caddy conversation. So, and it's all I can say is Jolly Green Giant and a damn midget. That's how it works, and it's funny to me, yo.
Well, man, hey, whatever floats his boat. But the Ukraine thing is I mean, I don't think a lot of people even pay attention to the Ukraine thing. How long they've been pushing this thing. So a lot of people won't know that Biden's son was working for this company over there in Ukraine that he wasn't qualified for, making like $300,000, some crazy amount of money, like a month or a year or something, like annual salary or something like that. So he was on some kind of board or whatever. So the thought was he was funneling money to his pops. But why does the war and why does Russia and Ukraine have anything to do with our gas prices? We got oil refineries. We get oil from Saudi Arabia. So, but what's funny and what you said earlier, the political theater about it is in 2020 when he first got elected, he helped Russia get a pipeline passed through Germany. It was a pipeline that had to go through Germany. He helped facilitate that. So how is he so anti-Russia, but you helped them do that? You know what I'm saying? So, but a lot of people don't remember that or don't even know about that shit.
Here's the thing based on a couple words you just said. Does he even remember that he did it?
Probably not.
For everybody out there, I was born in 76. With me being born in 76, a lot of times you have to go dig up footage. And it might take a little while for you to get it, to put it out there about what someone might have said. Now you can get that type of stuff like that. And there's so much out there that these people have said and did, like I said, the damn John Witherspoon, the flip-flop. They constantly doing it. And I think they've done it so much and so fast, y'all out there seem to forget. That's where the shit gets dangerous, because it's like they want to keep your head like this on a goddamn swivel when all you gotta do is just stay right there and be like, wait a minute, didn't I hear something different last week or whatever? And even right now with us talking about this, I know where my stance was and how I've kind of progressed based on what I've seen. And when it comes to national politics, I'm gonna stress this: national politics, I'm not really interested, because everything is already set in place. Locally, you got to handle your business, because you can actually go sit down with these people. Mind, like locally, especially depending on where you are, if you go 50 deep to a damn city council meeting or to the mayor or something like that, that carries a lot of weight, because you talk about 50 people in that community. Trust me, you're going to get something done. Take your ass to fucking DC with 50 people. Ain't gonna mean shit. They're gonna look at you like, man, fuck out of here. Because it's not about what you say, it's about what they're gonna end up doing. And because we can't be in their pockets, it's not gonna matter. Because everything is down to the bottom dollar. I think you might know more about it, but I seen something that one of those companies that's pinching people, I think they stock dropped like crazy. And people selling off shit and everything like that. That type of sign should be telling people something. You got to pay attention and follow the money. And that's the other thing too. I don't know who it was. I think somebody just proposed a bill. I cannot remember who it was. I think it's a Republican dude. Just proposed a bill that anybody in politics, national politics, should not be able to be on the stock market at all. Like literally, I don't know who he was. But something like that it's a good bill, because but to me with something like that, it's going to be limited, because who's to say that they just don't get their family to do their shit? They tell their family, yo, go invest $1 million of money, $1 million or whatever in this stock, and then it ain't even gonna matter.
But that's what they do. I mean, because not supposedly, Nancy Pelosi husband, he's an investor. So where do you think he getting his tips from? I mean, that's insider trading. But they'll say she's not doing it, but he's doing it. You know what I'm saying?
But for any like we said, for anybody out there, if you want to come on camera and speak your piece, based on the question or just talk about politics in general, put it in the comments that you want us to send you the link. Feel free to come on. If you are totally against politics, but you got that friend that's all for it, feel free. Because I know what we deal with a lot is people who say, you got to take a few steps here and this, that, whatever, and it's going to take some time. How much time we supposed to wait? What the fuck? Like, word? The shit don't change. Here's the funny thing about it. Most people want to always blame racist Republicans. This is the thing. You want to blame racist Republicans. How you gonna blame racist Republicans when them motherfuckers getting hurt by this shit too? There's a group of people that are in politics or whatever that help other rich people. So it's like, with that being said, do you really think that they care about the color of your skin? It's the same way when it came to what they were doing to us in slavery or whatever. Poor whites were in as bad as conditions as slaves. But what they did was they made those poor whites think that they were better than us. That's where the shit happened. Because I know with Jermaine living in South Carolina and me living in Georgia, I done met some cool ass white rednecks. It's a difference between meeting rednecks and racist rednecks. That's different.
Prejudice white rednecks.
Where I live, I don't know about where you live. Where I live, they control shit here. Like,
okay. All right.
Like, I'm gonna give y'all a great example. I'm gonna give y'all the greatest example possible. If you drive through Douglasville, and if you see any construction, I guarantee you that the name says Ragin, Rajin. It's a group of people in Douglasville that owns that company. Any construction that comes through here, they doing it. I also heard they building we have a major highway that comes through, Highway 20 or whatever, and they building it so it can actually go through and be above the streets or something like that. I don't think there was one black contractor that got a piece of that money. Not one. And they all got control of that shit.
And why is that?
Because they I think my mans was telling me they kind of didn't know about the meetings. Everything is backdoor. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm a firm believer of, at this point right now, as a people, we got to say fuck the back door, fuck the front door, and we have to make our own doors. Because if we don't work, I guess the best way for me to explain this is, if we have trillions of dollars in spending power, why aren't we spending those trillions of dollars amongst ourselves? Period. Like, to me, that's the best way I can put it. Because we can actually build ourselves up and get to that point. But we won't need motherfuckers. Straight up and down. I don't know about y'all, but when I get my house built, I plan on getting my house built with hemp bricks. If you look up hemp bricks, you ain't got to worry about no water damage. You ain't got to worry about no fire shit. That shit's strong as hell. That's some bad shit, yo.
Damn. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Hemp bricks is official. But to kind of go back to the politics thing, especially for our community, because we don't want to make this about a black and white thing, because that's so we're so above that black and white thinking, because that's what they want us to do. They want us to be in black and white thinking and want to be on this racial divide and all this kind of damn shit. I ain't with that. But at the same time, for our community who has been so destitute for so long, and it's been systematically done that way, because you have people that have been put into power, put into positions, elected officials who look like us but don't go to bat for us. Prime example. I always talk about this is here in South Carolina. James Clyburn, whatever his fucking damn name is. He's a piece of shit. So a couple of weeks ago, or maybe no, it was last year. He introduced a bill giving Catawba. Hold on, I'm gonna just pull it up so everybody can read it, and I'll send a link so everybody can see it. So they got in North Carolina, they got 17 acres of land. It says he authored a bill. The House Representative considered HR 1619. Now look at the irony in that number 1619. The 1619 project is when the first so-called slaves supposed to came over here or whatever. The Catawba Indian Nation Lands Act. The bill affirms the acquisition of 17 acres in North Carolina in trust for the Catawba Nation. The measure ensures that the lands can be used for gaming purposes, as the site is already home to the Catawba Two Kings Casino in the Kings Mountain. So James Clyburn introduced this bill for quote unquote Native Americans. But anytime the conversation of reparations comes up, he shuts it down. He like, how we gonna do it? But y'all figure out a way how to do everything else. Y'all figure out a way how to give the Asians their bills, the LBGT their bills. Y'all figure out how to give everybody else their bills. Where's our bills? George Floyd bill still stuck on the floor. The John Lewis bill still stuck on the floor. Matter of fact, anybody if you're still voting and you're so-called black, they vote every 25 years just to let you vote. How many people knew that? People have no idea that they vote on that every 25 years. So where's the bill to make it permanent law that you got? Why is it that you got to vote every 25 years so that a certain group of people can vote? That don't make no sense to me. So but do we hear anybody talking about that stuff? Any of our people talking about that stuff? So all these people that's in place, what's the one in California? What's her name? The older lady, the older black lady in California. What's her name?
Shit.
Any of them? It don't matter.
I'm thinking about the word auntie, and it's not it ain't rolling off. It ain't rolling off my tongue. What her goddamn name is? Fuck it. It'll
come back. But it don't matter. Any of them. Name any bill. Find any bill that they have authored or sponsored. That's for the bit. Maxine
Waters. Maxine Waters.
Thank you.
But Jermaine, you brought up a great point. And this is where I think that we could possibly see some change.
Hold one second before you go to that. But Clyburn did sponsor a bill. It's HR 301, and it's to lift every voice and sing the national anthem.
Symbolism, more symbolism.
So make it make sense to me. So fuck it, give us fuck reparations. Y'all don't need shit. Fuck money, reparations, because all of them say cash payments is not going to fix the problem. Says who? Says the motherfuckers who make $200,000-$300,000 a year. That's who's saying cash payments not going to make a difference. But yeah, let's give them a song. We'll give them a statue. We'll give them a holiday, hip hop holiday, hip hop celebration day, Juneteenth. Yeah, take that shit and shut the fuck up.
You said something earlier in one of your posts, which to me is a great point. When we start talking about our political structure, I honestly believe, and if a person has an issue with ageism, I don't give a fuck. In 2022, how is it that someone 70 plus years old is in Congress or the Senate or in politics, period, on a national level? How can they relate to what's going on? Because you're talking about a specific group of people. If you want to talk about homosexuality, that was some shit that they didn't even think, they didn't talk about or mention when they were younger. Because that shit in most states where these motherfuckers was at, it was probably outlawed and you could probably get killed. So when you start factoring in real issues and shit like that, How can they relate? I think that's part of the reason why a lot of people gravitated towards JFK. Because JFK was younger. JFK might have been the youngest president. He wasn't the young, he was close to, he was like the second or third youngest president ever. And why is it that we don't have somebody running for president that's like 40? Why? And people accept these motherfuckers. I mean, you really got to think about this. We had two people in their 70s running to be president of this country. Word? Is it
Word.
when you start talking about technological countries and shit like that? I bet it ain't like that in Japan. I bet the motherfucking president, whoever the fuck is in charge, they ain't old as fuck. It's like they carry that shit on. When you talk about England, who really control everything over this motherfucker, besides China, Queen Elizabeth is what, 250 or whatever. Like, you know, her lizard ass is still moving around, and that's how she able to stay alive. And people are cool with that. To me, that's a problem. It needs to be just shake it up. When you look at somebody like AOC, who is supposed to be for the people, the only thing she got going for her now is the fact that she's young. That's it. That's why when you mention about the 435 seats that's up, I'm interested to see what's going to happen. I'm very interested. Like a lot of times in these states and shit in these elections, what you see is the recycling of people. Somebody who was senator, they're gonna end up running for Congress. Somebody who was a Congress, they running for senator. You got David Perdue in here in Georgia running for senate. He's running for governor. Now, David Perdue is a piece of shit. Everybody know that. Everybody knows that. Is he better than Kemp? I think they both pieces of shit. But I keep the piece of shit that's in there before voting somebody else new. I'm good. Nah, I'm straight.
So, Jay, what say you? You are a open-minded voter.
I'm so sorry. I had to take a phone call.
Ain't nobody need to know your business. You go ahead and you do your thing.
What was the question? That's why I'm at. That's why I'm saying that. What was the question? I didn't hear it.
So, you know, what we expounded on what we talked about the other day. I'm a non-voter, or I'm undecided. You're a Democrat or Republican. How you sway me one way or the other? And then we got off on the Democrat shit because
of course
Democrats ain't shit. But by me saying that,
I guess so you're saying me as so is the question me as a politician how to sway,
or just you a Democrat, you vote, let's say you vote Democrat, and you're talking to your friend like, hey, this is the reason why you should vote Democrat, because such and such is
we've had this conversation before.
I know.
We totally had this conversation before, and particularly I would say, I pay taxes. A lot of times I do things based off of, or I vote for, politicians based off of, how they plan to set our tax rate. What are they doing to lower the tax rate for people? What are they using the money that I'm putting into the system? What are they using that for? What programs? What are we funding? Okay. I would say if you care about money, I work hard for mine. Mm-hmm. So I'm very concerned with, how, because they're going to get it out of me, how are they using it?
Okay. So,
and also morally, I'm a moral voter. I can't vote for someone where I'm like, I see that they're not doing things for me as, my people or the people, certain organizations that I care about,
okay.
Things that you care about.
So let me stop you right there. So now you're in a conundrum now, because you were just in a conundrum in 2020 because because everything you laid out in the beginning of what you look for, that's Republican. Everything that you look for morally, so you say is Democrat. So how do you
it depends. It depends. I voted Republican before.
I understand that, but I'm saying the points you just laid out just now. You said, "Hey, I ain't with all that tax and shit because I'm in a certain bracket. I ain't, this. I'm interested in where my dollar's going." But I also can't see myself voting for somebody who I don't align with morally. So you were just in, like I said, you were just in a conundrum because
Mm-hmm.
you didn't align morally with Trump, but his party affiliation is what your pockets talk to.
Mm-hmm.
But you voted with your morals, not your quote unquote best interest. Am I correct in
Did I
saying
tell
that?
you how I voted in the past election?
Yeah.
Or did you? I told you specifically what I did. Oh, okay.
Well, the conversations that you've had on here, you've made it clear that you were not going to vote for 45. So it was no other candidate in the race. So I mean, by process of elimination, we know who you voted for.
There are other candidates,
Oh, so
but yeah. But anywho, I don't want to get too far deep in the weeds on that. But yeah, it's a bit of a conundrum. But at the end of the day, I say do what's best for you. This is me as an individual, and it's important to me to vote. Period.
okay.
Just because. Well, listen, I don't want to be one of them people where the politics of life is passing me by. I want to be inclusive in this. I want to, even though I know a lot of things don't happen that I want to see happen, I had a voice in it. I had something to do with it. Again, it may not go my way the way I want it to. They may not do things that I want them to do and fulfill their promises. But at the end of the day, I still look at the fact that, people died for that. People were humiliated just to be able to vote. Now, the fact that you brought up the whole thing about, they're still voting on allowing us to vote every 25 years is ridiculous. Why someone is not bringing that up as an issue beats the hell out of me, but still I vote.
When you make that statement about being involved in the process,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where a lot of our separation anxiety per se is, because if we're going to be involved in the process, then we actually need to see some results. That I think as a people, we're the group that has been the most, I'm not going to say the most involved. We've been the most pertinent for people getting elected. And we're also the group that don't get shit from that. That to me is a major, major problem. And for a lot of people, myself included, the only way to eliminate that is we have to separate from the process and we have to vote in a block. We vote in a block is different because as a block that we vote, it turns into, if you want this block of votes, we want this. And we want it in writing. We want proof. You start doing this shit now. If we don't get it, it is what it is. And we know when it comes to political power and things like that, that's how you do it. That's one of the main things that Claude Anderson talks about in Powernomics.
Correct. And how long have Powernomics been out?
50 years?
Yeah.
So the reality of it is not that I don't want to be, it's being included in the process. I mean, again, it's important to me to vote. There are a lot of processes that I'm not involved in that I benefit from, and some that I don't benefit from. To me, it's certain things are just important to me, and voting is one of them. To me, I don't care which way you do it.
As long as you do it, you don't care which way you do it.
Yeah, I mean, do you know the process in which we have these lights on in the house right now? You know exactly what's involved in that process for electricity to come to your house. You know,
I do.
For the water, yeah, you would. You're an engineer, you think engineering, but there are very few of us who knows. But we do know when we come in the house, lights are on because the bill is paid.
If we're going to continue to, which, in my opinion, is just asinine to continue to participate in a system that is clearly broken. That's like having a computer at your house. You know it's broken, but every morning you wake up hoping that when you press that button, it's going to turn on. It's like, nah, bro, it's not going to turn on. You got to either take it somewhere to get fixed, or you got to buy you a new one. The only thing that's going to fix this system, first of all, we're the only well-developed country that has a two-party system. Every other country has more than just two parties. They have us stuck in this two-party where every year every 2 years to 4 years is either this or that. And basically they can just say and do what the fuck ever you want, because you got
I'm
people
not
who
disagreeing with you.
who
I'm
just
totally
gonna
not disagreeing.
but the process of vote, we have to get to the bottom of the process of voting. The process
Yeah.
of voting is, I give you my vote, this is what I get in return. That's it. It's an even exchange.
That's how it
And
should be.
and for no, that's how it's right. That's how it should be. But for the longest, we've been doing this, and we've been getting this.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Bam. Hell, 2006, 2008, Obama. Bam. 2012. Bam.
Yeah.
2016. Bam. 2020. Bam. It's like, how many
Mhm.
times you gonna get slapped in the face before you be like, hey man, I'm tired of getting slapped in my face. I'm not giving you shit until we receive something. And we got all these promises in 2020. Let me make this a little bit bigger so y'all can see this. All these promises. Let's see. Biden calls to raise federal minimum wage to $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Biden faces questions about commitment to minimum wage hike. Biden proposes massive Obamacare subsidies, public options, and healthcare plans. Public option left out of Biden budget proposal. Obama repeatedly touted public option before refusing to push for it in the final hours. Biden has taken no significant action on several criminal justice reform promises, including decriminalizing marijuana, ending cash bail, ending mandatory minimums. Biden hasn't kept his promise to forgive student loans. We can go on and on about all these promises that have not been kept.
Wait a minute. Didn't that just happen? Don't they have a bill now on the table for like
the student loan shit? If your ass ain't disabled, it's the way that shit is some bullshit. It's some bullshit.
Well, the article I was reading, the Department of Education was forgiving like 16,000 DeVry students or something like that.
Well, that's one of them.
That's one of them. But
that was because DeVry was misleading students when they were doing their federal loans. That's actually the loan department doing that specific for DeVry. Well, to DeVry. They're probably going to be penalized too. But there's something else that I think I read somewhere that said that there was X amount of money that was going to be funded or something created, a bill or something created to forgive X amount of dollars for people. But you're right, food was probably heavily stipulated.
Because the fact of the matter is the 3-game Monty game that they play is amazing. What they do is they give you these promises. They keep on giving you these promises. Then when they get elected, they mention it in the beginning and they stop mentioning it. One of the issues that we, as I would say, the people in the United States, is we don't hold these motherfuckers accountable. And then when they're held accountable, motherfuckers brush that shit off. If I'm not mistaken, a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago, Slow Biden called one of the news reporters a son of a bitch at the press conference. He called him, if the shit is on the mic, he called him a son of a bitch.
Yeah, it was a hot mic.
So
but that guy at Fox, I think he's known for that. He's known for pushing buttons.
Yeah, but my whole thing with that is, if he did that and called him a son of a bitch, why wasn't it all over social media and all that shit like when 45 was in office when he did the shit? Like, for me, I don't have a preference for either. I just want transparency for the motherfuckers to act the same based on the fucking action. That to me is a problem. That's the issue. And motherfuckers is getting passes. And should nobody get no motherfucking pass. If you do wrong, you do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, welcome BT to the show. This is our guy from the Overflow Show. What's up, BT?
Gentlemen, black people, ladies, how are you today?
Hi, BT. How are you?
I'm gonna play this video and then I'm gonna let BT get the floor for a second because me and BT, we have this love-hate relationship in politics. It's all in love. It's all about building and stuff. But we have good conversation. But here this is what our take on. This is my take on what politics is. American politics.
We gonna rob Bugsy Calhoun. Sugar said we never had a muscle to fight him. How we gonna take this motherfucker's money?
Listen to me. If everything goes the way I plan it to, we'll be one day gone by the time he realizes he's been hit. And another thing we gotta do is get all the cash we can and put it on that white boy to win.
Man, Jenkins gonna kill that boy.
Exactly. And Calhoun knows we know Jenkins, so he'll figure if he sees us betting on the white boy, we talk Jenkins into taking a little dive, so we can have some extra money when we relocate.
Oh, I get it. He puts his money with the other money, so it don't make no difference who wins. We hitting all the money. Sugar, you're a sweet, smart motherfucker.
Politicians in a nutshell. Prove me wrong.
Before y'all get into it, I don't care what nobody say. They compared which one funnier, Harlem Nights or Life. Harlem Nights, hands down. There was too much shit that was funny as fuck. There was too many scenes in there that's classic.
I don't know. We'll debate that one day. I don't know about that one.
Good, yo. Harlem Nights for me all day.
BT, I'm a non-voter, or I'm undecided. You're a staunch Democrat. Why should I vote Democrat?
All right. I'm not a staunch Democrat, first and foremost.
Okay.
However, I am a staunch opponent of Republicans. I'll be real with you on that. And it's pretty simple. It's because that the Democrats of the Republicans of the last 70, 80 years have been destructive to the Black community. Now, the Democrats of the last 70, 80 years have dropped the ball a lot in the Black when it comes to the Black community, very much so. But not, and some have been destructive, but not on the level that the GOP has been. I look at, it's interesting about politics. I don't know if y'all are Game of Thrones fans or not. The writer of Game of Thrones is George R.R. Martin, and he writes his characters morally ambiguous. And that basically means is that none of them are 100% evil or none of them are 100% good. They both do good and evil stuff. That's the way I look at politicians. Are there a lot of politicians out there that have a lot of evil in them? A lot of Ted Cruz's, yeah. The Marco Rubios, yeah, those guys. Are there ones that are really good, like Bernie Sanders? Yeah, and Beto O'Rourke is my guy. It's no secret that they're what side of the aisles these guys are on. If you're a Black person and I'm appealing to you, you're a non-voter or you're on the fence, I would vote. I would tell you, for the most part, on national elections, lean towards Democrat most of the time. But on your locals, I say do your research and see who is touching your front door. See who's affecting your community. See who's doing what you're doing, and vote your conscience there. Real talk, absolutely.
Got a question. So you just made a good distinction. So you said nationally, lean toward blue.
Mm-hmm.
You said locally, you said do your research. Why you can't do your research on the national level?
Yeah, you should do your research on a national level. You're right. And if it's somebody that, they ain't the perfect candidate out there. There's not one. I guarantee you can't name a candidate that you agree 100% of what they do. There's nobody. They don't exist. I'm sorry, they don't. You're too of a what's the word I'm looking for? You're too rounded of a person. You're too non-linear to just across the board rock with everything they do. But so just because you can't rock with everything they do, but if you rock mostly with them, then I'll go ahead and pull the lever for them. Unless it's something that is just something that's just, that's just inconceivable that I can't go with. You know what I'm saying? Like in Texas, I'm really big here in the local elections, statewide and stuff like that, because Abbott, Ted Cruz, John Cornyn, and our Dan Patrick, our lieutenant governor, they've wreaked havoc on our state. And we had this time last year, we were coming out of a statewide freeze, a freaking freeze, because these people, because they wanted a deregulated electric market. When you have a deregulated electric market, that means that the government cannot come in and regulate how you maintain the grid. So when a storm happens, you won't be ready for it. And that falls directly on them because they want a deregulated market so their buddies can go out and open up the market and sell, and sell to to the highest bidder. Go ahead and regulate the market. They say, oh, that keeps prices down. Yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. What it is that your buddies open up residential electric retail providers, and then they rake in the money and they kick you money back. So really, man, but back to what I'm saying on the partisan level, I can't think of any Republican candidate that's done right by Black people in the last 50 years. I can't think of one. All right, that's done right. That's done right by Black people.
I gotta ask this question, and based on what you just said, give me a Democrat that has done right by Black people.
Okay. What's that? What's your question?
Give me a Democrat that's done right by Black people. I'll wait.
A Democrat that's done right by Black people, for the most part. Barack Obama.
How?
How about all right. You know how they have the Asian hate bill? That's basically a direct piggyback off the hate crime bill. That is a bill by Barack that was introduced by Barack Obama 2009. So, and that directly affects Black people. So when shit goes down, when people are prosecuted for hate crimes, that the death penalty is in play in states that don't carry the death penalty. So
that's the problem. That's not directly for us. That's why I'm gonna ask again. What has any
okay. Well, okay. All right. What can you write in the bill? What can you write in the bill? There is no so okay. What I'm saying is what Barack did was things the stuff that he put in the recovery bill after the worst recession that we had since the Great Depression, that put his recovery bill put Black folks back to work. It put not only Black folks, it put everyone back to work.
Thank you.
After he saved the auto industry, after he saved the insurance industry, after he saved the banking industry. So
again, you said I think we're trying to get to a point, because you said Republican, because you started out when you came on, you said Republicans are, you named two Republicans you said that are evil. And then you said that the Republicans have done nothing for Black people. Then who asked you name a Democrat that has done something for Black people? And you said Obama.
Barack Obama.
And then you said, well, he didn't just do it for Black people, he did it for everybody. So it wasn't just for Black people. But
all right.
But by you bringing up the crash, I have this sitting up here because Obama packs his economic team with Wall Street insiders. So when we talk about, because you just talked about how Abbott give these kickbacks to all they friends and stuff like that. So that's a direct kickback to his friends, putting them on his economic team, don't you think? If I put a Wall Street
it probably is. It probably is. I'm not saying Obama's not stainless, but but he put his finger is on the pulse of the Black community, because what are the main the main things that affect us are economics, jobs, and criminal justice. And he addressed all those issues by pretty much decriminalizing marijuana on a federal level. There are so many black men that are locked up for marijuana on a federal level, which is ridiculous because marijuana is legal in half dozen states in this country now. Now Obama refused to go back over there, and now he didn't make it illegal. He didn't reschedule it because that's a lot of drama that probably wouldn't get through the House and Senate. Now, Now, as far as that, and he also cut ties, put it on the table to cut ties with all the contracts for private federal prisons. Now, if you don't understand the role federal prisons play in the black community, man, that's probably the most evil business in here, because it's basically you're basically running a business to lock up black people. Donald Trump pulled it off the table. First thing he did when he got in office, pulled that off, tried to keep the contracts going. And your boy Biden, Biden took it right back and put it right back on the table, cut off the ties of the federal prisons. Now, we need to keep that going on a state level. That's how you make the steps towards criminal justice overhaul right there. Quit making it profitable, locking black folks up, making it profitable. Then you'll see laws change and you'll see people being policed differently.
So
let me say this. Let me ask this question real quick. And it's going to pain my heart to say this. Which president has done more for HBCUs? Barack Obama?
Barack Obama. It's not, I'm gonna cut you off. I'm not even gonna let you finish.
No. You are gonna let me finish because this is a fact, and this hurts my heart to say this. Right now, HBCUs are permanently getting funded because of 45.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, it's false. 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 Not a fact. Not a fact. He pulled. Pull up the argument. Pull up the article where just Google Donald Trump goes back on his promises on HBCUs and read that. And that he rolled all that money and shit up in other shit to make it look like he's giving a bunch of money to HBCUs, and it wasn't. It was going to other shit, other programs. Come on, man. Trump did the bait and switch on you guys. And he loves.
What did Barack do?
Trump. Barack funded HBCUs. Absolutely. Partner, I'm the product of an HBCU, Texas Southern University. I know what's going on. I know.
And
I'm the product. Now,
what I was going to make is Barack Obama, while he was in office, did more for the LGBT community than he did for us.
Well,
that's a fact.
Okay. All right.
Now mind you, I'm saying that because he specifically did something for a group of people and did not do shit specifically for us.
Okay.
Period.
All right. I'll concede that point if you can tell me one thing, just one thing that he's given to the LGBTQ that black folks don't have. Just name one thing. He ain't give them shit that we don't already have. All he did was he pulled them up to the table. They was away from the table, and he just pulled them up to the table. He didn't give them a seat on top of the table or no shit like that or ahead of the table. He just pulled them up to the table. That's all.
So let me get this straight. Based on what you just said, if a white dude come down the street and crack me over the motherfucking head, is he gonna get charged with a hate crime?
It depends. If he calls you a nigga when he does it, absolutely.
But
you have to prove it, dude. That's the way law works.
But if I whoop a gay dude's ass, it's automatically a hate crime.
No, it's not. It's not. If a gay dude steps on your foot at the club and you punch him in the head and then that's it. No, that's just simple assault. Hey, you have to prove it the same way. Same way.
Yeah, we getting down in the weeds, man. We getting down.
We just get warmed up. Come on.
Because you're saying he pulled the LBGT to the table.
Correct.
So you saying we at the table?
No, technically no.
So how can you?
I mean, for the most part, no.
So,
but
so
on paper, yes.
Wait. We ain't talking about on paper. We talking about economically. They're ahead of us right now. So we historically have been disparaged. I mean, you talking about 400 plus years. We've been voting Democrat 50 plus years, right? So how are we not at the table, but these guys keep coming in and pulling people up ahead of us, ahead of the table? How we can't even get to the table? Every other group that comes here get to the table before us. And this shit was built off of our fucking backs.
Because we've been discriminated against for 400 years, dude. I mean,
so the LBGT haven't been discriminated against, and they get pulled up. The Asians haven't been discriminated against; they get pulled up.
Indians,
Native Americans, they get pulled up. But
I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
no, it's not. It is what it is. But that's the problem, because we keep saying it is what it is, and we keep voting for these motherfuckers, and they keep coming out and saying,
"What do you?
Well, we're gonna do this. You want me to play Joe Biden's speech, his inauguration speech? I can play that for you."
All right.
The African Americans came out for me. Matter of fact, I know the shit because it's a bunch of bullshit. The African American community, they came out for me like they always did. They always have my back, and I'm gonna have your back. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do this, and that. And he
no. Don't say this, that. Say what he said.
I'm gonna
say what he said and hold him accountable to it.
If you were watching the show, if you were watching, I just rolled out everything that he said that was going to affect the black community.
Right. What did he do for black farmers? $5 billion for black farmers, $10 billion.
It's not black farmers. It's not black farmers. You got to look at the wording. You have to look at the wording. It's diverse groups. It's not specifically black. It's diverse groups. You know who's wrapped up in diverse group? Every fucking body.
And we had a black farmer on this show that spoke on this too, that can speak to that shit. It's bullshit.
So we can say your big thing is, hey, it's not going to happen overnight. It got to be piece by piece. We got brick by brick. That's your thing. You're an educator, right? You're an educator, right? You educate children, right? So you go into every school year. You have a plan, and your plan is any kid I can affect a positive change on by teaching them whatever I teach. That's my goal every year, right? Why isn't it their goal? That's not their goal. And it don't take you fucking damn forever to do it either. It take you one semester to affect change, and one kid's like, it take one semester.
This is a system. This is a system that's been in place for over 300, 400 years. You know the term Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome wasn't torn down in a day either. You know what I'm saying?
So
you got to. I mean, you have to change. You have to make the steps of change.
So Jay,
there's only two ways to do it. There's go inside, from the inside of the walls, make it happen, and make change happen.
Jay,
or revolution.
Jay,
which one are you ready for? Are we ready for either one of them?
Jay, you're IT, right? What's this? What's this in my hand?
Thumb drive, look like.
What's that in my hand?
It's a flash drive, right?
It's a flash drive, right? If I just pull this out of the wrapper and my computer got a virus on it and I stick this flash drive in it, what's going to happen to this flash drive?
It's going to get corrupted.
It's going to get corrupted. You can't fix the system from the inside. There's no way you can get on the inside and say you're going to fix it, because you're going to become corrupt. You ever seen that picture of a fucking pear that sits together with enough pears and he's rotten? What happens to the other pears and that around it? It starts rotting too. That's politics, son. We got to break the system. Has to come down. If y'all not ready to break the system, then if y'all gonna keep participating, the only way you break the system is to stop participating. Non-participation. That means I'm gonna pull my vote out, and you got to come and say, this is what I'm gonna give you to bring you back into this system.
Okay. So how long do you think it'll take to get mass participation, non-participation?
Yeah.
When you start talking, this the whole. I want to speak on.
Because I don't see that happening in our lifetime.
This the whole thing with something like that. As a collective, if it keeps getting put out there over and over and over and over again, and we were to push this narrative, anybody who is indigenous of America, do not vote nationally at all. Locally, have at it. Don't vote nationally. And we actually can come together to say we're going to vote as a block. What will end up happening? We vote locally and we control every single state. However that shit goes, they're gonna come to you. You ain't gotta go to them. Now that's the way that it should be. But unfortunately, people are brainwashed to believe that they vote gonna actually do something nationally when it's not true. You have people that vote these motherfuckers in. You're supposed to be their constituents. They're supposed to move based on what you believe on their constituents' behalf. You can't even get that on a national level with the Electoral College. The shit doesn't fucking matter. None of this shit fucking matters. That's the fucking problem. You can't fix like he keeps saying, you can't fix a broken system. It's fucking impossible. By participating, it don't mean shit.
What I do agree with you, BT, and I agree with Fu, and I can say I don't do it. I used to do it. I don't do it. Locally, you can't affect change. I do believe that. Locally, you can't affect change. But on that same token, you have to find a candidate that aligns with your ideals. That's just how you have to do it. You can't just say I'm gonna vote blue or I'm gonna vote red or whatever. You can't do that. And Rob is in the comment. He always say what the Republicans do. I don't give a fuck about the Republicans because 85% of so-called black Americans vote Democrat.
All right.
So if I'm a Republican, why? If I know y'all already going, it don't matter what I say. I can say I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna sponsor a bill for reparations. I'm gonna give y'all this. I'm gonna give y'all land. I'm gonna give y'all taxation. I'm gonna give y'all all that. Y'all just because I'm red, y'all tuning me out. Y'all ain't even hearing me. So as a Republican candidate, why the fuck am I even wasting my I'm gonna go to the motherfuckers who gonna hear me. So why would I waste my voice on a group of people who not even giving me a shot? Because 85 to 90% of y'all vote fucking Democrat.
And I'm a piggyback off of what you just said, which is probably in the works of coming. In the not so near future, or in the very near future, excuse me. It's going to be more of us that are going to be Republicans. The reason being is because it's going to be a Republican strategy where it's going to be somebody that looks like us, or it's going to be somebody that's going to say, look, this is what we're going to do for them. Because if we start showing action rather than symbolism, that means they're going to stick with us. And it's probably going to end up being a black face because we more relatable to that. And it's just a matter of time before this shit happens, because at this point, they know the game. They already see, oh shit, the Democrats don't do shit for them. They just say they're going to do something for them. Hell, you had to deal with 45 talking about that $500 billion plan or whatever. And the first thing black motherfucker said was he ain't going to do shit. Then you get slow Biden and Kamala Harris talking about this build back better shit. Guess what? Ain't nothing happening for us specifically from that bill. Not a god. It's the same exact thing. Except this time they're actually in office and have the power to do something, and they ain't doing shit. Not a goddamn thing.
As far as BT, hold that thought. I'm gonna let you. I just want to. Mandy, she said, when are we gonna hold our people accountable? We own a lot of our faith in the government, and what she's saying is true. But the problem is when you try to hold them accountable, let's say, i.e., Democrats, when you try to hold them accountable, the first thing they say is, "Oh, well, you're a Republican." Anytime you give them a little pushback on anything, they throw you to the. It's a great meme up when about that. I had it pulled up, and I'll pull it up after once you start talking. But it's like if I push back on any Democrat shit, I'm deemed a Republican. Like Rob loves to say, "Oh, you're a Republican. You're a Republican. You're a Republican."
Well, that's a cop out. Okay, that's a cop out. I got you on that. But okay. but I'd rather push back with facts instead. Okay. Now what'll happen is if we drop out of all the national races, say if all the black and brown people stop voting in national races, okay, that means everything would go red, right? The president would be a Republican, Senate and the House would all be Republican, and they would appoint all conservative judges. See, that's one thing that we forget about is that the Senate and the president, they appoint these judges, and that shit affects our people. You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why they handle all the appeals, even on state crimes. They handle the appeals. When we get railroaded during our trials, and then we try to appeal it, they go to conservative judges. Conservative judges don't give a shit about black people. Republicans, I'm sorry, man. The Senate, when it's red, they don't give shit about black folks. They're not gonna do shit for HBCUs. Well, they're not gonna do shit for infrastructure in the black community. They're not gonna do none of that. They're not gonna try. They're not. Once Republicans, when they have their what food likes to call the bully pulpit, they use it for them and their people alone. Period. To be honest, Republicans don't give a shit about poor people. They don't. I mean, you look at a guy like Mitch McConnell. He sits on a throne. He worth like $30 million. Poorest state. Kentucky's like the poorest state in the union. You know what I'm saying?
So the Democrats got a bully pulpit. Why aren't they using it?
Because Democrats are soft. You know what I'm saying? They're soft. They don't play the same game. They don't fight fire with fire. They don't play the same game the Republicans play. They try to reach across the aisle and come up with partisan shit. No, that's bullshit.
But that's what you voted for. You voted for Biden because he said he's going to reach across the aisle, right?
You're right. I voted against Trump, to be real with you. But like the new progressives, the AOC, the squad, they coming.
Oh yeah.
Now they play they do. They govern like Republicans. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what you want. What you want. Well, we putting through what we want.
Prove it.
That's how you gotta be. To get shit done.
Name what one bill the squad has sponsored. That's actually made move. Because you can't bring up that point and say, "Oh, the squad is coming," and they push.
They're coming. They haven't done it yet. Bro, they haven't done it yet, but they're coming.
When are they gonna do it? Because AOC, I got a video of AOC saying it doesn't matter if you're a one-term congressperson, you can affect change. AOC
all right. You caught me off guard. You caught me off guard, but I can definitely look it up and I'll have it for you. I promise you.
Let me tell you. Zero. They've got zero bills sponsored and any bills got traction on the floor. Zero. That's AOC, Cori Bush, Kamala Jayapal, all of them. The so-called squad that's supposed to be anti-establishment. They had a chance to.
You're right, because there's a bunch of corporate Democrats who might as well just be Republicans. Of course, we already know about Manchin and
I know
there's more of them. There's more. Your girl Nancy Pelosi. She's a corporate Democrat too.
But this is what I said. This is what I tell y'all all the time. I say y'all gotta quit talking about that damn Democrat and Republican shit because it's not Democrat Republican. Because you got conservative Democrats and you got liberal Democrats. You got conservative Republicans and you got moderate and liberal fucking Republicans. But the squad had an opportunity to unseat that corporate Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. And guess what they all did? They had the votes to do it. And you know what they did? They bowed down. They said, you know what? I ain't fucking up my damn career going against her ass because you know what? They couldn't because she got the fucking damn money. She got the fucking power. They had a chance to get her up out of here. Remember this? Remember when we talked about this on the show last year? They had a chance to get her up out of there, and they didn't. When they were
that's why I say this shit takes time, dude. Bro, you want the biggest boulder to move on the shortest amount of time.
BT, you know what it takes? It takes guts and cojones, and they don't have it. Just say that. You just said they were soft. You just said the Democrats were soft. So
they are soft.
Just say they didn't.
As a whole.
Just say the squad that's supposed to be progressive and go against the establishment, they didn't have the guts and the balls to do it. Just say that. And that's cool. That's cool to say. It's like, damn, I thought they was the shit, but they really wasn't. And we'll see what they do next time. I mean, that's the biggest part of if you want somebody to, lean a certain way, you have to be able to concede where y'all fuck up at, where they fuck up and like, hey, they dropped the ball on that shit. They could have did that and they dropped the fucking damn ball.
Yeah, okay. That doesn't mean even if they do drop the ball, because that's what Republicans do. Democrats do. They do drop the ball a lot, but it don't mean throw them in the trash. You know what I'm saying?
This is the meme I was talking about. This is what happens. Both sides make good points. Get pushed over to the right because you said that shit. And then after you on that, now you talking about something, why you side with them. This is what's going to happen. Food just laid it out. What's going to happen. People been pushed so far to the damn, been getting their ass kicked. It's like black people are in an abusive relationship with the Democrats.
Yep.
And if people don't understand what an abusive relationship, and if I hope I'm not being too insensitive to that situation and making light of it, but you stay in it too long. You know you should get out. You know you should leave, but just for some reason you can't leave.
And you mentioned you wanted to bring up. You said that if we don't vote and if we remove ourselves nationally, then everything's going to be Republican run. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that is actually not true. The thing about it is, when you start factoring in the way this country is set up, they are split down the middle. That's why I'm not going to say are anymore, why we were so important, because we could sway an election. Now we are an afterthought due to Spanish motherfuckers. They're going to push them to go ahead and vote either way, because we are more of a motherfucking minority. But the fact of the matter is, if we vote as a block, we can control shit, and the way we control shit is getting what the fuck we want. That's where the shit has to be. Until then, it's not gonna it doesn't matter, because honestly, national politics treat black people like a fucking prostitute. They're gonna get their rocks off and they're gonna kick you the fuck out once it's over. And unfortunately, the prostitute keep going back every 2 or 4 years to get fucked and kicked the fuck out. That's a fucking issue. That's a problem, because people keep thinking that magically, if you part of the process, shit gonna change. Nothing has fucking changed. And to me, the crazy part about all of this is the one thing that hasn't been done to affect the goddamn system is us removing ourselves. That's the key thing about this.
Hey, Jay.
We've been inclusive. Here's the funny thing about all of this. When we weren't involved, we were treated better. When we weren't in the goddamn process, we had more shit.
Can't argue with that. Shit. Prove that point wrong. Because after Reconstruction,
how were we treated better when we weren't?
Bro, we had more wealth after Reconstruction than we do now. Just think about that. We didn't get the so-called right to vote until 1967, right? Or
right.
63, somewhere like that. So if we weren't voting before, how were we able to move and had so much money then, and we ain't got it now?
Why do we have it? It's a combination of a couple of things. Okay, now one of them is, hey, that white man did a number on us. He brainwashed us. When integration, after integration happened, white man convinced us that white people's shit was better than ours. So we stopped patronizing the black community and the black businesses, and they died. The proof is in the pudding. How many black businesses out there?
Wait a minute.
We had black banks, black insurance companies.
Black businesses were destroyed. They were fucking destroyed by the white motherfuckers who we became inclusive with. They the ones that fucked the shit up.
Hey, fool, hold that.
You're right. They stopped fucking with. They stopped funding black businesses. Absolutely. What the problem is that we don't have a financial institution that funded that would filter into the black community. That's the problem. We had that back when there was segregation. We had black banks. We don't have black banks anymore.
BT,
So therefore, we couldn't sustain black business in a black community.
BT, hold that thought. Jay, I want to let you get in a chance to chime in.
No, I'm all set. Go ahead. I'm listening. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I don't have a
as far as the money, I think we can actually do that shit ourselves. We can do it. We just choose not to do it.
You're right, but man, let me tell you something. It's very difficult. I mean, it's very difficult when you don't have the support. It can happen. Yeah, we can happen. But let me tell you something. You have to get approval from the federal government to do a lot of this shit. Yeah. All banks are funded by, because where do banks get their money from? Banks don't have just some one rich dude funding them. No, they get loans from the Federal Reserve. And then they loan it to people out there. So even if we want to start a bank, Main One Food Bank, okay, and then to get money to loan to black businesses, you have to meet certain guidelines if you want to be able to get that money from the Federal Reserve. But unless you're going to get a ridiculous bankroll from people that are silent investors, how are we going to do that?
There you go. Oh well, we got all these black billionaires. We got Jay-Z, Oprah.
You're right. There's a million black millionaires.
So all of them put their money together. They the bank. We ain't got to go to the government. Y'all the bank. Hey, we're gonna give such and such this money for this business, such but that's the bank right there.
Okay, and then the feds come down on us for loaning money to black businesses. That's discriminatory. That goes against that shit. I mean, how could they? We still have to fall. We still fall under banking. You still have to fall under the federal antitrust laws. You have to follow them. You have to. You can't make your own shit up unless you have your own. Unless we move out and have our own land, our own island, our own infrastructure, have our own everything.
So you telling me Black Wall Street was under the federal guidelines?
No.
Exactly.
But if you want to have a bank today,
well, I mean, I don't understand what the times are. I mean,
I'll say,
if it's my money, I can loan my money to who the fuck I want. If Food needs $50,000 and I got $50,000 for him,
because you can't, you can't.
I can't loan him that money.
That's loan sharking, dog. You can't do that. You have to follow federal guidelines.
That's bullshit. I can call bullshit right there, because basically, when you start talking about the banks put their money in a goddamn insurance policy. We can do the same exact thing, and it can't be touched by the federal government. It's a fact. This is a fact. They can't do
the banks put that money. I'm sorry, man. You cut out on. You said the banks put their money in what?
Insurance policies.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
absolutely. They also.
So with me making that statement for you and for everybody else out there, if everybody opens up their own whole life policy, they're their own bank. Why the fuck do we need banks?
Okay. All right. Because okay. All right. So if everybody opens up their whole life policy, how am I going to get a business loan? How am I going to get $100 million business loan?
So I'm gonna give you the greatest example right there. If BT wants $100,000 for his business, and if I got a policy, Jermaine got a policy, and Jay got a policy, come get the motherfucking $100,000 and open up your business. How about get out of the brain trust of fucking with them, because you don't have to. That's the part of the game that they don't want people to know. We don't need them. We do not need them motherfuckers.
All right. Let me tell you something. Okay. All right. Where do banks are? All right. They have to make money. Banks have to make money. So they're going to have to invest that money. What are our banks going to invest into? You're investing, because that's all they do is they take your money. They take your money that's in your savings account and they invest it. And they'll give you 5% or 3% or whatever on it. But they're going to make 8 or 9% off of it when they invest it into their mutual funds or whatever.
They ain't taking shit out of your savings account, because guess what? 85% of Americans are one paycheck away from being homeless. So a lot of motherfuckers ain't got no savings account. They ain't taking shit out of your.
But a lot of people do. I'm trying to say here.
It ain't a lot. It's not a lot.
You're right. But like, okay, all right. Banks are gonna need that safety net. You know what I'm saying? If you got a policy, like if I got a policy, Jermaine got a policy, you got a policy, and somebody needs a loan, I mean that money that there are they're gonna have to go get that money from somewhere else. They can't just get it from your premiums.
Yes, you
Your
can.
premiums are being invested in something else.
You can take a loan out against your policy.
Yes.
A loan, yeah, you're right. Okay, all right. Who's gonna hold that policy? Who's gonna hold the whole life policies?
Your policy owner still holds the policy.
Who are the policy owners?
Whoever you got your policy owner with, State Farm, who the fuck ever.
And the point that you want to bring up is you got to understand this. It's the same motherfuckers who hold the money from the bank. It's the same shit. It's just the bank is the middleman. We don't need them. That's it, mind you. And we've talked about this. We talked about this on our generational wealth show. I'm getting my whole life policy after this summer. I'm starting my shit so I can be my own bank. The only reason I'm gonna have money in the bank is to pay bills. I'm not gonna have no big amount when I know my bill's coming. Put that money in, go pay that shit because of the card access. But other than that, I'm getting ready to have insurance policy. The fucking insurance policies. Fuck the bank because they even know that if people start taking their money out of the bank, they're fucked. And that's what. Once again, that's a process that we need to do to say fuck that shit because you don't need it.
And that goes up. And let's go ahead and wrap it up because I think we're going to end the show in a little bit. But I want the great Dr. Claude Anderson to kind of tip us on out on this show. And it's about what Fu was talking about, and what I'm talking about is about pulling out. And this is what he talked about. I can't remember what year this was when he had this talk. But just listen to what he's saying.
One of the biggest things that are going to drive us in this underclass structure will be conservatism. The second thing is that you're going to have an unending influx of immigrants into the country. And that's what Dr. Price is talking about. And nobody, no black politician, no black organization wants to deal with that issue. They will avoid it at all costs, even though in their hearts they know that's one of the biggest problems for black folk. We anticipate in the next 10 to 12 years, approximately 86 million Hispanics coming into the United States and 41 million Asians. You have been the majority minority for 400 years in this country. You have been the number 2 population for 400 years. You're going to get kicked out of being number 2. You're going to go down and become number 4. Now, common sense, even a third grade education would tell you, if you didn't get anything when you were number 2, you all jumped ahead of me, but anyway, you can guess what you're going to get when you become number 4. So what I'm saying now is that you're going to have this massive influx of immigrants into the country that are better equipped. They don't have your legacies. They don't have your disadvantages. They're walking across the border. They're going to get a free lunch. They don't have to pay dues. But you got public policies in this country that are equating them to black folk. They're equating them to black, and what we've allowed them to do, starting in 1970, is to wrap themselves in black folks' suffering and pretend somehow they suffered along with black folk. And therefore, whatever program is created under this misguided label called minority, that they are equal to you and over you. So that's the problem with the influx of immigrants. And what they are doing is coming into the country and doing what we've never been allowed to do and we've never been bright enough to do in some senses, is to build your own communities. You gotta build your communities. You see, every group that when they leave their homeland, the last thing they do is look in the mirror. They look in the mirror and says, I'm going to America. And I'm gonna go to America, I'm gonna find me a community or neighborhood. Or I'm gonna build one with people who look like me. And so that's why you go all over this nation, where they're coming out of Asia. You will find Vietnamese towns all over California, little Cambodias. You'll find a Chinatown in every major city. You'll see the Hispanics come in, they'll build a little Mexico, a little Havana, a little Hialeah. You find little Italys, French towns, German towns, Greek towns, Polish towns, but you cannot find one black town. And we are the only people that keep trying to integrate. We're the only people, rather than looking in the mirror and saying, I see somebody that looks like me, I want to go find and build me a community of people who look like me. We're doing just the opposite. That's your second problem, is inappropriate behavior of black folk. We keep looking in the mirror and says, I want to get away from everybody that looks like me. You can't have any power and wealth doing that. If you don't have a community, you cannot rebuild Los Angeles without a black community. If I cannot come in this city, you can tell me where every black lives, where he stays, where he works. You don't have a community. And all of you that want to go in business, don't waste your time. You cannot start a business and operate without a town or community. Why can't you do it? Because without a community, you have no market. If you don't have a market, every black gonna go by your store at 200 miles an hour, heading for the suburbs and heading for the malls. And that's why you got this major displacement of capital out of the black neighborhood. And I tell black folk, if you want to go in business today, don't do it. Give me the money. I need it. Because you're going to go bankrupt. 80% of all black folk that go into business under the present system, you will go bankrupt within 2 years. You will lose your money within 2 years because you don't have a market. And see, that's how the other groups function. They have their own markets, their own communities.
You're not lying.
Bro, we got to we have to learn how to how to function like that. But they want to keep us in this political theater, and we got to get off of that shit. Like I said, locally, hey, you know, I think you can affect some change locally, but we got to get out of that national hamster wheel. We got to get out of that shit because it's the same shit every fucking damn cycle. Same shit.
Yo, Jermaine, based on that video and based on what you just said, I think that a national outcry for our people needs to be fuck national politics and let's focus on building our communities. Period. Like fuck, because we already know that doesn't affect us, but we can affect us. That's where the placement needs to be. Because hell, if people looked at the new tax laws and shit like that, fucking drug dealers supposed to be filing taxes. Shit is fucking legal. Like they actually, the shit is documented that they supposed to be doing that shit. So at this point right now, they telling you go ahead and kill your motherfucking community and whoever the fuck you want to do, you gotta file taxes on the money because we need that money. So at this point, this is what we need to do. And I'm putting this out there for Jay and motherfucking Main One and everybody watching. I've been a fan of Dr. Claude Anderson for the longest. And I'm going to do everything in my power this week to see if we can get Dr. Claude on as a guest and possibly motherfucking Phil Valentine. I'm about to make every fucking phone call that I can make and text and whatever, because at this point, with the community that we have and the audience that we have, our people need to hear from Dr. Claude personally. Fuck everywhere else fuck the videos and all that shit. We need to hear from him because he's the one person that gave us a blueprint. There's been blueprints out there, but that motherfucker gave us the blueprint. And if you're watching this show right now, and if you are indigenous, if you are melanated, if you are carbonated, please go buy Powernomics. I beg of you to go buy Powernomics. That way you can open up your eyes to exactly what's going on. Make sure you watch 3 shows ago with Generational Wealth so you can learn about trust and being your own bank. Hell, we got 477 people in the Unplugged group. If 477 people got a whole life insurance policy, we our own bank. Out of that 477, we could do some motherfucking damage. Period. That's where we got to start thinking. I'm dead serious. If anybody wants Outlaw's information about learning how to be your own bank, hit us up. We'll get you the information. But that's where we got to be right now, because thinking about this, fuck 2022. Don't forget, Jermaine, how many people in Congress are up for re-election?
435.
So we about to have a massacre. It's about to be a bloodbath in 2022. Get ready. Get ready. All these motherfuckers you love in Congress, about to be gone.
BT, will you come on camera and say, Jermaine, you was right? Will you come on and say it?
If you're right, I mean, you sure didn't predict. You didn't predict that the Senate was gonna. The Senate was gonna flip. You sure didn't predict that.
I said the House. I said in 2022. I said the House and the.
No,
I said
I'm talking about last year in 2021.
Oh, you talking about with the Georgia shit?
Yeah.
Oh well, we know what that shit was about.
But here's the thing.
we know what that shit was about. We know that they lied and told people they was going to get $2,000 checks, and that's why they came. And then they end up getting $1,400 checks. Come on, man.
But here's the thing: you're making that statement. You just said that the Senate flipped. It flipped to what? They still haven't done anything. They ain't did shit, so it doesn't matter.
But BT, I want you to do your history. So this is your history homework. Go back to when Obama got elected. Look at his Congress when he got elected his first year. And then I want you, after his first year, I want you to look at his Congress the next year. I want you to see how the House and everything flipped.
It flipped after 2 years. Yeah.
No, it wasn't 2 years. It was a year, and it was a year right around this time. Well, the next election cycle, that's when the House flipped.
In 2 years. Yeah.
Biden ain't been in fucking damn office in 2 years. Biden only been in office for a year.
Are you talking about Obama?
No, Biden got elected in 2020. See, I can't even remember how long motherfucker been in fucking office. It's been 2 years. Okay,
it's been 2 years already.
So 2 years. So I want you to go back and look at the pattern. Just look at the pattern. You can go back further than Obama. Just look at the pattern. It always happens that way, and it happens that way for a reason. So Manchin and Sinema, they're just smoke screens, right? Because we got the bully pulpit. But we got these two people that's holding everything up. If it wasn't for them two people, we could have did some shit. Now the shit about to flip. Now they're gonna blame it all on the Republicans. Oh, we can't do nothing now because the Republicans got the fuck of their house. Then it's gonna go back to the next year. Come on.
And so Jermaine, if you're gonna pull out of the Nationals, what you gonna tell your boy Tim Scott? He don't got your vote this year?
He ain't my damn boy. Shit.
Tim Scott not your boy?
Hell no.
Come on, man.
I want to make this point. I want to make this point before we definitely end this show, without a doubt. Barack Obama had a bully pulpit and could have did it whatever the fuck he wanted for 2 years. His first 2 years in office, he could have. The way the shit was based on politically, he should have been able to do whatever he wanted to pass whatever bill that he wanted because he had the Congress and the Senate. Now, mind you, of course, they want to come up with every excuse why they didn't do it.
Yeah, wars, a record recession.
Hold up. So now
auto industry going down the drain.
So now you have slow Biden in office who connected with everybody, ain't no issues per se. 2 years ain't did shit. He ain't got no excuse. He has absolutely no excuse. So then, what they gonna do? Like he just said, once everything get flipped, oh, he couldn't do nothing his first 2 years, and then everything went Republican.
What did Trump do? Well, when he had the Congress and Senate, besides appoint a bunch of conservative judges throughout the nation.
But why are we talking about Trump? Is that going to be the Democrat call and cry for these elections?
He's talking about Obama. He's talking about Obama.
I'm talking about the political party that's supposed to be helping the people that never help the people. That's the whole point. Fuck the Republicans. We're talking about the party that's supposed to do something that never does any fucking thing.
You're right. The Democratic Party is like eating McDonald's. Every day, if you eat it every day, eventually it's going to kill you. All right? But the Republican Party is like eating shit. It's like eating a big-ass bowl of shit every day. And you're going to die quicker.
But BT, you don't eat the shit, though. You eat McDonald's. So either way, you're going to die.
You're going to die, but you're going to die a lot more slowly with McDonald's. And McDonald's, you can get a salad there every once in a while.
But so you're gonna keep eating the McDonald's instead of saying, well, shit, let me try
not the shit. I'm not gonna try the shit.
No, independent. You can go the independent route.
Yeah, you can do that, a libertarian or whatever.
Libertarian route. But I mean, just the fact that you said, well, shit, fuck it, I'm gonna just stay eating McDonald's versus, well, it's some other healthy choices out there I can choose instead of McDonald's. I mean, that just don't make no sense to me. But
I'm not a diehard Democrat. I don't pay into the Democratic dues or nothing like that shit.
It sounds like you fall on the goddamn sword a whole damn lot for them motherfuckers, though, boy.
It sounds like y'all fall sword for a lot of red dudes, a lot of Republicans, like the boy McConnell and them.
Hold up. See, this is why.
The Tim Scott. just because I used the Democratic vote to vote against Trump. That's what I did. And that's what I'm doing. But actually in the governor's races in Texas, I actually believe in Beto O'Rourke. And he needs to take down Abbott. Abbott's been the worst governor in our state's history.
How much has gas prices been in Texas?
Right now, it's like right at I use regular. It's right at like 350, 360.
I sure missed it. The one thing I can say is I sure missed them days of it being $1 something when 45 was in office.
Oh, man, I'm not gonna let you sell that wolf ticket. Man, that's a wolf ticket.
How? Wow, the price is down
because the price of oil went down. That's the only reason why. Why the price of oil get down? Because nobody was working. Because we were in a pandemic. That's the only reason why. It didn't get down to $1 before the pandemic, did it? Nope, not at all.
Excuse me. Do you know that the one thing that 45 actually did was open up the refineries here in the United States, which was part of the reason why the gases were low? And then when Biden got in office, he proceeded to close the motherfuckers. Did you know that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. Absolutely.
So if that's the case, throw out all the other shit. In other words, one president actually said, I want gas prices to be lower and did something about the shit, which was amazing to me. And then you got one that did the opposite.
Gas prices didn't get low until we had a lockdown. Not just a pandemic, a lockdown.
That's not true.
That is true.
Hey, we can agree to disagree, but the one thing we can't disagree on is that Biden is pushing a war in Ukraine, talking about this is why the gas price is up. But we don't depend on Ukraine or Russia for no oil. So see, that's the bullshit that I want you to say. Yeah, that's some bullshit.
I think Russia is kind of bluffing. I think they put them troops on border to see what type of response they're gonna get. Then they're gonna pull them back, and then they're gonna wait for something else, and I think they're gonna come up with an alternate plan. Russia got something up their sleeve.
It's all a game, bro. It's all distraction. All
right, so we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate everybody that watched tonight. I will say once again, for everybody that watched this show, it says 8 people watching live right now. Reach out to Outlaw and get you a whole life policy. This year, save $6,000 up. I would say a minimum $5,000. Start your policy. Let's focus on next year being our own bank, especially with the way this motherfucking economy is going. Straight up and down. We have to do this shit. And then you start talking about group economics for real, and that's how you start buying politicians. That's the only way we're going to do this shit. We buy our own shit. That's also from Dr. Claude Anderson. Straight up and down.
Fuck them politicians.
That's the only thing I don't rock with him on. The buying the politicians. I mean, because okay, all right. If you buy a politician and you get somebody else with deeper pockets can buy him, and then he ain't got no loyalty to you. You know, if you're just buying a dude that's just gonna do that, you got to get somebody that actually believes in what you believe.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But like Jay said, what you say, Jay? What's your stick? Say it, hit it one time. We ain't heard all show.
Has a price. Yeah,
everybody got a price. That's real. Because you're right, 1,000%.
So once again, for everybody, and mind you, Jermaine, I'm gonna tell you right now on camera. As soon as we get done with this show, I'm calling Hbcus, and I pray you pick up the phone, yo. We getting Claude Anderson. We getting both of them, but we getting Claude Anderson. Fuck that shit, because I know he gotta have his phone number. But for everybody out there, we appreciate all the support. Make sure no matter what you do is like, subscribe, and share on Rumble and YouTube. Like, that's the main thing. We got to make sure that you're doing both, and it's Unplugged FYM. So we got to get these numbers up and everything like that. and make sure you share this video. So we'll see y'all next week. We appreciate y'all. Remember, there's no us without you. This is our shit. And if you got something that you want us to talk about, feel free to hit us up and we'll go ahead and touch on it. But the goal is to get these guests on that's going to give you the information that you need. Not necessarily that you want, but that you need. So we'll see y'all next week.
Have a good night, y'all.
I know you're out there. I can feel you now. I know that you're afraid. You're afraid of us. You're afraid of change. I don't know the future. I didn't come here to tell you how this is going to end. I came here to tell you how it's going to begin. I'm going to hang up this phone, and then I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. I'm going to show them a world without you.